Believe it or not, the London Underground Piccadilly Line is one of the lesser used tube lines in London, which honestly surprises me. From its interesting quirks to the fantastic areas that it serves, I'd say it's one of the better tube lines that's worth travelling on, especially when new trains are coming in the near future. So why don't you find out right now as we're trying out TFL's London Underground Piccadilly Line Cockfosters to Heathrow Terminal 5 service. Why hello everyone, I hope you're all well. It's your good man Addy, otherwise known as Trainman 305. And whilst we're just seeing this 384 clear the view in front of us, I welcome each and every one of you to Cockfosters railway station, the northern tip of the Piccadilly line. Cockfosters Underground Station opened on the 31st of July 1933 as the final station on the Piccadilly line extension from Finsbury Park. It was designed by architect Charles Holden and was the last of 8 new stations on the line to open, completing the extension into what was then Middlesex. The station itself is actually pretty small, with a small cafe and shop, a ladies and men's toilet on the opposite side of the station for some reason, and we have ticket machines next to the information desk at the centre of the station. Don't forget that tiny departure board over there. Anyway, I'm going to use my London travel pass to get through, and I'll talk more about prices at the end, but let's have a little history lesson before we get going. Our journey begins in the 1890s, a time of grand ambitions and competing ideas. 3 separate proposals for deep-level railways were on the table, all with different routes. One from Piccadilly to South Kensington, another from Finsbury Park to the Strand, and a third to run beneath the existing District line. It was a transport puzzle with 3 missing pieces. But then, a key player emerged. The American financier Charles Yerkes. He saw the potential in these scattered plans in the early 1900s. He bought all of them. He unified them into a single version, creating the Great Northern Piccadilly and Brompton Railway, quickly nicknamed the Piccadilly Tube. And so, on December 15, 1906, the line was open to the public, running from Finsbury Park to Hammersmith. It was an instant success, a marvel of engineering that changed how Londoners moved. Fast forward to the 1930s, this was the era of massive expansion for the line. The government's New Work programme provided the funding needed for the Piccadilly line to stretch its legs. It was extended to Hounslow West and Uxbridge. To the north, it was pushed on to Cockfosters. This period gave many of the line's famous Art Deco stations designed by the legendary architect Charles Holden. However, the line's most significant modern development came decades later with the dawn of air travel. In 1977, the Piccadilly line was extended to serve Heathrow Airport, forever changing the role of a commuter rail into a global gateway. It was later extended to Heathrow Terminal 4 in 1986 and finally to Terminal 5 in 2008, which is where we're going today. Today, the Piccadilly line is the 4th busiest line on the London Underground network, a testament to its endurance and importance, and soon a new chapter will begin. But for now, we're still in the present day with the 1973 stock, which has served the line quite well since 1974, and let's hope it stays that way. That's our history lesson over, and just opposite us we see a Piccadilly line train heading towards Rayners Lane. I also wanted to add something. Today's tube driver is actually a woman. Statistically, in Transport for London at least, only 26.07% are women and 0.7% are non-binary. Hopefully we shall see a more equal workforce in the coming years with TFL. Already here I see a problem. Can you tell me what it is?
The train.
Where's the fire extinguisher? Okay, anyway.
I like my coffee now. Okay, we'll have your coffee.
And we're off. We're the only ones in this carriage.
I know. It's the cool kids' carriage. Look. There you go, mate. Yeah.
We're not even kids anymore, Josh.
Yeah.
Almost immediately after departing Cockfosters, keep an eye out for the right-hand side of you. You can see Cockfosters train care depot, well, at least before you start going downhill. This is one of 5 depots for the Piccadilly line rolling stock, and the second most major just behind Northfields near Hounslow. And personally, I prefer Cockfosters to Northfields, probably because I can see it. The first train to run between Cockfosters and Heathrow Terminal 5 on the Piccadilly line began in 2008 with Transport for London, who still operate the service today, and they've done a fantastic job maintaining most of the original station designs and features.
And I can't take this no more.
Welcome to Arnos Groves, which reminds me, the stations between Finsbury Park and Cockfosters still all retain their colour scheme, and many of the underground stations on the Piccadilly line anyway have unique tiling patterns, so for those who can't read properly, you can use the patterns to work out which station you're at.
Oh, right. Okay.
Also, the centre of Arnos Grove has a memorial of Charles Holden and his life's work. Worth checking out in my opinion. Welcome to Finsbury Park, a large public park and a large, vibrant, multicultural North London neighbourhood. Also, the direct opposite platform for the Piccadilly line is actually the Victoria line here. That's a handy interchange. Oh, and at Arsenal, keep an eye out for the original station's sign name of Glipsy Road. Before it was renamed to the terrible football team, this was the original name of the station.
Definitely
This is King's Cross St Pancras. Change here for the Victoria, Northern, Hammersmith and City, Metropolitan and Circle lines, and national and international rail services. A light here for the Royal National Institute of the Blind. This is a Piccadilly line service to Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3 and Terminal 5.
Because of all those rail connections at King's Cross St Pancras, King's Cross St Pancras is officially the busiest station on the London Underground network, with an estimate of 72.1 million passengers a year. That's incredible! Welcome to Russell Square, where you get a large variety of museums within walking distance from the station. And just one stop down the line, welcome to Holborn, where you can change for the Central Line or get off for the British Museum. Welcome to Covent Garden. We're officially hitting the more touristy area of London. In Covent Garden, you can get off for Covent Garden Market for amazing shopping or souvenirs, or even see a play in one of the many theatres nearby the station. Also, Covent Garden to our next station, Leicester Square, is the shortest distance between any tube station on the network. It's also the station for Chinatown people. At Piccadilly Circus, make sure you get out to see the Piccadilly lights, as well as change for the Bakerloo line here. And now we're at Green Park. The park is on the grounds of the amazing Buckingham Palace. Welcome to South Kensington. Change here for the Natural History Museum, the Science Museum, and the famous Royal Albert Hall. Also, since we're here, let's talk a bit more about the train we're on. As mentioned, we're on the 1973 stock which entered service in 1974. 86 six-coach trains were built. They were built by Metro Camel in Washwood Heath, Birmingham, to replace the 1959 stock at the time. And they had a refurbishment with Bombardier Pro Rail between 1996 and 2001 to give them their current appearance and interiors. Departing Hammersmith means we finally left the touristy areas of London, and to the left and right hand side of us, we're running alongside the District Line as far as Acton town, passing through some of the smaller, more quieter stations that are served by the District Line. This reminds me, the Piccadilly Line has the most abandoned stations on the London Underground network. At least 8. Most of them closed due to low passenger numbers, but you can still go on certain tours that take you down to these abandoned stations. And some stations like Holborn have abandoned platforms which lead to those abandoned lines. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see any of these tours, but note, these will not take you on all of the stations due to safety risks. Departing Acton town, this is where the district line separates to go onto Ealing Broadway and where the Uxbridge branch of the Piccadilly line diverges. Let me know if you want a video on these services in the comments. Meanwhile, we're going to continue heading southwest down the Heathrow branch. Welcome to Northfields, everyone. And you probably noticed that here and at South Ealing that there's an extra third platform here. The extra third platform here actually takes you onto the train care depot at Northfields, which admittedly you can't really see properly from the train, but you can see it from street level. And I think now it's time to talk about the 2024 stock. Northfields Train Care Depot is currently housing 2 2024 stocks at the time of editing. The end goal is to replace all of the 1973 stock trains on the Piccadilly Line with newer and smarter trains. You also might have noticed that some of the stations have the new 2024 stop markers for the new trains. While some features like driverless trains and platform edge doors have been cancelled for the time being, it is at least nice to know that the Piccadilly Line will get some much needed new rolling stock. At present, the 2024 stock is expected to enter service in the second half of 2026. I'll keep you posted on the 2024 stock, and do make sure to ride the 1973 stock before they go. Anyway, we're now approaching Hounslow East, one of 3 stations in Hounslow that are served by the Piccadilly Line. Hounslow is known for its diverse culture and rich history, including Hayman and the royal residence, and its location also means we're right underneath the Heathrow flight path, which means we're getting closer and closer to Heathrow Airport.
The next station is Hatton Cross. This train is going to Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3 and Terminal 5. Customers for Heathrow Terminal 4 should change here and wait for a train to Terminal 4.
With us entering Hatton Cross, it means we're officially in the Heathrow Free Travel Zone, an area where you can just basically travel for free. This is valid between all Heathrow terminals and Hatton Cross. On all trains and buses, you'll just need to require to tap in a card to just, well, prove that you've travelled in the area, or just get one of these special free Heathrow travel cards. You can buy them at any Heathrow terminal airport, or just get because it's free. Anyway, arriving into Heathrow Terminals 1, 2, 3. Terminal 1 unfortunately closed in June 2015, but they never replaced the signage here, meaning this still shows 1, 2 and 3 despite it only serving 2 and 3. Also, keep an eye out for the Concorde works here. And now I think it's fair to start talking about the price. If you were simply just to tap and go, it would cost £5.80. If you were to tap and go at peak times, it would be £7. Children only have to pay 85p if they're using a Zip Oyster card, and students get half off. And we do have London travel cards that are also valid on the London Underground, which means they're also a form of payment. Thank you for a wonderful journey today. Have a good one. After I just luckily got a chance to thank the tube driver for a wonderful journey, I give you the Piccadilly Line, ladies and gentlemen. I must say, it's a real shame to see the 1973 stock going, but hey, it's needed. Also, the Piccadilly Line could potentially have an extension to Heathrow Terminal 6, if that terminal ever gets built, that is. It's a whole political thing which I don't think I want to get into right now. Let me try, one sec. Now, as our train just left, we're going through the barriers and up the escalators to the, well, arrivals area, because we went up the escalators that post to the lift. But let's imagine we're flying somewhere anyway, to somewhere exotic for a future adventure. Anyway, back to the UK. I thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you wish to see more. And I'll see you all next time. Take care everyone. Bye bye. See you soon.